Yo, what's up, everybody? My name's Puff. If you haven't been in the stream before or my YouTube, I play a lot of TCGs, a lot of RPGs, but lately I've been playing a lot of Flesh and Blood, really good card game. Been playing Magic the Gathering for long time, let's say. But I'm really excited about a new game called Battle Spirits Saga. There's a welcome event in Vegas in about a little less than 2 months. And Vegas isn't that far of a drive for me, or quick flight. So I'm certainly going to go. I'm really excited. I've looked at the rules and played a few games with the starter deck with my friend, and it's really cool. I really enjoy the gameplay. There's a lot of features about the gameplay I quite enjoy. I like the mulligan phase. I like going first is not as strong in some games as it is in other games. Those are the little subtle things I always check for in a TCG right off the gate. So there's a lot of things about this game I'll be talking about today. This is the first stream, so this is me. Like, I've learned the game a little bit. I've got a couple hours of gameplay, but I haven't dug into the card gallery yet. Purple seems to be the color I'm naturally going towards. I really like curse mechanic, control type deck, card draw. It's a lot of fun stuff. I really like the art of it. All that stuff matters to me. So what I'm looking for today is probably reviewing, just looking at the purple cards, seeing which ones stand out to me as I think about brewing my first deck. The starter decks are not really giving you that top tier gameplay that shows off the game. So I'm really looking forward to playing other people's custom decks, first my own custom decks, and then slowly brewing it and getting better. Again, the Vegas tournament is the launch tournament. It's in about 2 months. And there's some really good prizing. It should be a really fun event. So this is all in preparation for Vegas. But it looks to be a really fun game. So what I'll be doing is switching over to Tabletop Simulator here. And I have the purple cards kind of displayed out. Going to be looking through them, talking a little bit about the basic mechanics because this is the first stream. So if you're there in the chat, feel free to, ask any questions that come up, anything like that. And we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to switch over here, probably turn on some music, and we'll see how it goes. Last time I streamed, I was just streaming my normal music, and the copyright infringement was all over it, so I couldn't upload it to YouTube. So we're making a new one here with some copyright-free music. If it becomes too loud or anything, just let me know. It's just meant to be some background, noise like that. So switching over, some basic stuff on the game. Whoa, what is this? The black. Oh, alt-art cards. Nice. Wow, these alt-art cards are sick. Okay, cool. We'll look at these as we go through. I think that's all of them. One more. Sweet. So some basics on the game. There's 4 colors. There's red, purple, yellow, and white. These are the 4 starter decks here. They all have their strengths and weaknesses, as well as some art flavor and stuff like that. Red, the starter deck's called Dragon Onslaught. They have a lot of dragons in there. Red is very, as you expect from most card games, it's very much the aggro mechanic. You're swarming the board, buffing your creatures, combat tricks, that type of stuff. Again, I'm very new to this game, so this is just my first impressions of these. As we play over the next couple months and prepare for Vegas, we should be much more adept at what actually the decks do and stuff like that. But as far as the starter deck playing, like I mentioned, we played a few with my friend back and forth. Red is very much aggro color. Purple, the next one here, a bit on the control-y side. They have a lot of card draw, some removal. One of their key mechanics is called Curse, which is like Death Touch from Magic the Gathering, which is pretty cool. It goes like that. Yellow has a lot of interesting type of card tricks. I probably know about yellow the least. Purple and white we've gone back and forth a lot with. So I don't want to comment too much on yellow, but we'll probably look at the yellow cards today since we are at least familiar with them. That'll be fun. White has a lot of mechs and is very much the high cost type of control deck. Huge creatures that come down that can block really well and really make your opponent's life miserable if you can survive long enough to ramp that high, so there's a lot of good stuff about each of these colors. You can mix and match them. So that's going to be the next level of brewing, is do I want purple with a splash of something? Probably going to start with purple just because it seems cool. We like the art and stuff like that. So we'll look at the purple cards here. This is Tabletop Simulator, which is cool. I like the way the guy set this mod out, overlooking a city here. But before we do that, I want to look at these alt art cards. Wow. So they just announced today that there's some alt art in the first set, or not today. They've announced it for a while, but they're finally uploaded to Tabletop Simulator here. So we won't be looking at the actual card data when we look at the alt arts first, but you know, just checking out what they got to offer. This one looks really cool, and it's a really strong card. But as I mentioned, we won't really look into that. Just looking at the art here. That is a beautiful art. I bet that looks really good in person. Really good. That's a really good card. Wow, Absolute Ice Shield. So I lied about talking about them because the alt arts are obviously of some of the stronger cards. So, wow, I like that. It's a burst. It's a white burst. Cost reduction of 1. I'll probably at least take one moment once we look at the cards to explain what the text is, but that's pretty cool. Burst there. Deadly Balance. Oh, that looks pretty sweet too. Can dig that. This is one of my favorite purple creatures here. This Infernal King Cursed Dragon. Big fan. Dual Gun Mech Lord Derm Dyna. Damn. Archangel Mikola. She looks pretty good too. Nice looking art. Again, this is just the alt art, so we're just looking at the art here. Raging Dino Dynaro Rex. He looks pretty badass too. Beldegar of the Dark World 7, looking good. Mecha Beast Fortress, Namungard. See how bad I'm butchering some of these names as we get it. Pretty cool. Okay, so let's look at purple. I guess since this is the first stream, I'm gonna just talk about the few different card types really quick. If you're an experienced player, it's gonna be very boring for a couple minutes. But if you're a new player, here's your intro to how it works. Let's just grab a creature. Grab one of those 3 levels. We got a creature here, a Nexus, a Burst, and a Magic card. Okay, so the basis of the game is spirit versus spirit. So it's you versus your opponent. You each start at 5 life. You summon spirits. Your spirit's going to attack the opponent. You don't attack their creature, you attack the opponent. The opponent can decide if they want to block with one of their own spirits. The spirits fight each other. The stronger one wins, the other one dies. Simple like that. So when you look at a spirit here, you look at this card, you see the 3 at the top. The 3 is the cost. So this card costs 3 resources. The 1 purple thing next to it means it can be reduced by 1 purple. By one cost if I have a purple on the battlefield. So I'm gonna make sure it's showing up well. So on the bottom right of the card, you see that little purple symbol, the 1. That means he's worth like that 1 cost reduction. So if I had one of these on the field, because you can have 4 of a card in your deck, the first one would cost 3. The second one would cost 3 minus the cost reduction, which is 1 purple. So if I had one on the field, it would cost 2. And then the creatures have these levels you can see down the card text: 1, 2, and 3. And next to the level, it shows how many cores are necessary to achieve that level. So all creatures need at least 1 core to survive. And the cores is the same thing as the resources you spend your cost with. So if this was turn 1, you know, if I wanted to summon this creature, I had no board state. I'd have to spend 3 cores, because that's how much he costs. And then I'd have to place a 4th core, 1 more at least, onto him, and it would stay on that creature. And with 1 core, he's power of 1000, and he's level 1. The following turn, if I have more cores, I can add cores, stuff like that. If I have 3 cores on him, he'd become level 2, and then a lot of the creatures have benefits when they reach certain levels. Like this one, if he's level 2 or 3, when the spirit attacks, that's the trigger word there, draw a card if your opponent has one, with some other mechanism there. So you can level up your creatures. That's one thing. But I keep calling them creatures. It's the first day. I'll get used to calling them spirits. All creatures are spirits. So there you go. The other permanent that we talk about here is Nexus. So you have spirits, and then you have Nexus. And Nexus are like, if you're familiar with Magic the Gathering, again, these are the TCGs I'm familiar with, so it's a lot of my viewers, so that's what I'll talk with. It's like an enchantment or an artifact. It's a permanent that's on the field, but not a creature. So in this case, it's not a spirit, but it's a permanent. What they usually have is their level 1 requires no cores. So you can have a lot of them out without having to keep a resource attached to them. And like this one, really strong one, really cool looking. So it costs 6 resources with 3 cost reduction. So if I had 3 other cards on the field, or a total of 3 purple cost cards on the field reduction worth, it would only cost 3. So having a board state is very important to ramping up what you're planning to do. And this one has a level 1 and level 2, and then also a bonus effect at level 2. So level 1, see it says 0. That's how many cores it would take, 0 cores. So I cast this for 3 and do nothing else. And its benefit is draw a card when one of the opponent's spirits is exhausted. And exhausting is when you tap it in Magic to either attack or tap it to block. So exhausting is, turn it sideways. So that's really strong. So as we're thinking about brewing, our brain is thinking, okay, how are we going to make a deck? Wow. 4 of those, at least 3, really, really good card, really strong. Definitely digging it. So the other type of card is magic, which is like a spell. It's not a permanent. It comes out and does an effect, like a sorcery or in magic. So in your main phase, you could cast this. And it's, this one, when your opponent selects one of their spirits, you select one of yours, and you destroy both. So it's kind of like each destroying a creature. So this would be really good against like a white deck that has very few huge creatures. Like even if they had one mega strong creature, that'd be perfect, because they'd have to select that one and destroy it, where I could just maybe destroy it. One that has a death effect. That's really good. You see this has main and flash. So flash is like your instance. So when you go to attack a player, you declare attacker, then there's a priority window for both players to do flash. Then there's a block declaration, and then there's another flash window. So some of the flash cards do things like, you see this in the bottom, it says, give it 2,000 BP. So you can just kind of divide everything by 1,000 if you want. So if a 1,000 creatures attacking and a 2,000 creatures blocking, it would normally lose that fight, and the 1,000 creature would just die. But if you cast a spell at instant flash speed, buff it up to 3,000, that 3,000 would kill the 2,000. So that's basically the last type of card, flash. Some cool main or magic cards, which can be both played at flash and main phase sometimes, depending on them. The very last type is a burst. And burst typically have no cost really associated with them. You put them face down in the burst zone. You can only have one down at a time, and they're like a trap. So they trigger off various mechanics, then they do their effect if you want them to. And a lot of them let you then pay for an additional effect. So like this card, Burst. When I lose life, this card would activate. So if I put Dark Matter in my Burst zone, they attack me, boom. When I lose life, select a spirit card that costs 3 or fewer. You may then pay for this card's cost to activate its main effect. So it's super strong there. Basically, if I lose damage, I can pull a card back from my graveyard, and then I can pay for its bonus effect, which is select an exhausted spirit that costs 4 or fewer and destroy it. So they would have had to done damage and at least exhaust a spirit. So ideally, they attack me with a 4 power creature, 4 cost creature. I take damage, flip this, I get a 4-card back from my graveyard, and can destroy that. So pretty good swing there. So again, we're looking at purple here, trying to figure out what are some of the stronger cards, how we want to build this deck, and then we'll probably look at some other ones because we've looked at purple before. So this one here, this Netherworld Dream, is a really, really strong card. I really like that. Core Drain seems like a staple. Select one of your opponent's exhausted spirits, remove up to 3 cores from it. So as we mentioned, creatures need to have a core on them to survive, at least one. So if they have 3 or less, this would just kill any creature. Seems like it's pretty good. Poison Shot, it's flash in main, select 1 spirit, remove a core from it. Also very good there. And when they destroy one of your spirits, its burst would be to draw a card. Okay, so that's pretty good there. Just gonna look back through these cards, see which ones kind of jump out to me. We have the creatures kind of arranged at the top. Nothing too crazy here. Okay, make sure settings are working here. Seems like we're doing okay. Let me know if like I've been muted the whole time or something. Don't think so, as you probably start getting used to streaming this more and more. So this guy seems pretty good just at level 2. You can attack opponent's creature directly, a spirit directly, so. Potential. We'll start putting some potentials over here. Okay, Chain Viper, he's a vanilla. Probably don't need to use him. Another Serpent here, so if there's a Soul Core. Wow, you can get some aggro in with this. Kind of like this. Hello. Got my pup here trying to talk to me here. So you can basically make him unblockable like turn. You can't attack on your first turn, but on the second turn you certainly could. Interesting. Certainly an aggro way. So I guess, as I mentioned, Curse is like Death Touch in Magic. This card seems pretty good. Yeah, he seems pretty good. Vanilla, we don't need that. Dark Knight Florence, so he's cheap. Might need a couple cheap ones. Cheap with Curse. Okay, this guy's pretty strong. Select one of your opponent's exhausted spirits and destroy it. Yeah, he's pretty high. Costs 5 even after reduction. Interesting. So his level 2 says if your cards with Curse can't be blocked by level 1 spirit. So if your opponent was committing, let's see, he would cost 3 after reduction, plus 4 to level him up. So for a 7 resource play, you could get him out and bum rush if your opponent wasn't ready with higher level spirits to block. If they were just playing the chump block. Interesting. King Snake Quetzalcoatl. When summoned, select the spirit with curse in your trash and return to your hand. That's pretty good value. He's 3,000 power at level 1. And he's giving you some type of immortality there, you know, bringing it back. When this spirit attacks... Okay. King Snake, you're over here in the good category. Dark Knight Mordred. So when summoned, he can kill one of their exhausted spirits. That's good, like anti-aggro, because you know they'd be attacking you. You summon them, basically kill one of their spirits. And then when it attacks, it removes another core. Okay. Thinking about this card. Pull it back up for you guys. Just when summoned, drawing a card. Probably good. I haven't played enough to know. Oh, we have a burst up here. Let's pull it down to the burst category. Vanilla creature, Illusiona. Shield Knight Gardener. So we only cost 1 after reduction. During opponent's attack step, refresh this creature and one of your purple spirits is destroyed. So it's only during your opponent's turn. They'd have to attack you here. Win a fight, and then you could untap him. Not super high on that. I kind of like it. Okapandle, just a basic curse card. Keep that in mind. That seems a little telegraphed there. Curse. Oh, this is an X rare. Python, a little card draw. Put it in the maybe category. Werewolf Commando, no. Kind of dig this. This has got some, you know, a built-in ping for removal. Like good anti-aggro. Really good, okay. Momura. Just like a core removal. Keep it over here in like the maybe. If it's soul core, so we have to be careful with the soul core on this. Maybe again. Alright, we're gonna look at some of the magic spells here. Burst Venom. So it's flash effect or main effect is 2000 BP bonus. That's not terrible. Decent combat trick. When your opponent destroys your spirit, that's decent. Poison shot seems decent. Your opponent destroys your spirit, draw a card. Maybe if you're only in a low to the ground deck though. We'll see. Bloody Rain. Again, really good anti-aggro. Because if they only have creatures with one core, they just basically can't attack with them. Not great versus tall decks. The buff is not bad though. Kind of like all these so far. Core Drain, we talked about it. It's a cheap buff. It only costs 1 with your board state. Okay, Core Theft. Sheesh. Okay, you need some card draw for this, though. Okay, we'll have to start thinking about what... My brewing juices are flowing here. I like it. I mean, a lot of cards aren't going to have 3 or more for a while. You'd have to pay a resource. You could flash this though, which is good. Discard any number of cards and place one, and basically remove a core every one. That might be one of the best removals, actually. You'd have to have real big card advantage though. Wow. So this would go along with this Nexus here. This 2 must be like one of the top combos. Poison Mist. Very much curse based. Not sure about it. Abandoned Guillotine. All your spirits gain 2,000 on the attack step. Okay, if none of your opponent's spirits are exhausted, select one of them. You'd have to set up a situation where they didn't want to attack. So you'd have to have a really strong blocker or a reason for them not to attack at all. I'm not sure how that play out. Ancient Amethyst Palace. When placed, discard the top card of your deck. So you take the top card, put it in the trash. If there's not a spirit card, it's cheap. It's kind of a... You'd have to build a pretty consistent deck for that, though. Wow. Pretty light. You'd have to go pretty light on Creek Spirits. Not sure I dig that. Rotting Swamp. During your attack step, draw a card and one of your spirits is destroyed. Oh, it has Serpent synergy. We're not going like tribal with any of these decks. We'll probably stick to themes like Curse or Card Draw or something like that. God, you'd have to invest 3 cores into this for its level 2, but you draw a card when one of your purple spirits are destroyed. Seems good. But again, you'd have to go heavy. You'd have to have a lot of creatures for that, too. Purple Smoke Valley. Curse energy. It's got some card draw on it too. Alright, let's see if any of these are like X rares, extra strong ones. Well, I guess there's a few more to look at here. Just heard something. Might have been a bird slamming the window or something. Give me 1 second. Guy seems pretty good. The overall removal there. Dark Knight, Aglovale. He seems like a pretty solid early turn 1 play here. Or early turn. I mean, he's cheap. He eventually gets curse and some card draw. Okay, I can dig him. Let's put him over here. Similarly with this one, we can't have too many cards that are based on the Soul Core effect, but probably have a couple. We gotta figure out which one of these is better. I'll keep them together for now. Okay, we've looked at all the cards except the EX. These guys are all really strong. I'm not sure if there's any deck restrictions on having these. You might be able to just have 4 of them. 4 of each. Not that you would. I don't know. You know. This guy is really cool. The Infernal Concurs. Definitely like his style. It's like an AoE damage. One of the only ones I've seen. Remove 1 core from all spirits. He would go up to level 4 if you kill like any. These two combo together like amazingly. So maybe that'll be like our end game. She's really gonna be mainly with Curse. Dread Knight Nemesis. This guy's good, Dark King Snake. Let's see, you get 4 of every card, I'm pretty sure. You want a 50 card deck? So you need say 12 different cards maxed out. You have to curve into it a bit. Maybe 3 of a couple cards. Question is can we use core theft strongly here? This guy can get some serious value with the buffs. So let's think about what combat tricks we're gonna have. Wow, dark matter, select an exhausted spirit, just destroy it. Okay, I'm kind of high on dark matter here. So let's review these again. These are like the BP flash bursting ones. Bloody Rain, really good anti-aggro. Maybe this would be part of our like anti-aggro package. Well, this actually works against everything. Burst Venom. I like cards that are like modal, you know, have multiple uses. That's always good, especially going to be open meta. Well, the meta might be refined. We got 2 months to go, so we'll kind of see what the tabletop people lean towards. But this is pretty solid. Burst Venom seems good. Is it a rare? Is it a common? Uncommon, common, uncommon. Dark Matter. Select a spirit that costs 4 or fewer from your trash. We'll see what kind of creatures we're gonna actually run. This guy's really good for a 3-cost creature, but we would need some immortal. We need to trigger the immortal, right? So we need some 4s or 5s. But we do need some quantity of lower cost ones to basically get the board state up. Maybe it could be with Nexuses. Let's review these Nexuses again. I'm gonna pull them all over here. You know, it's just removing 1 core if something has 2 or more. I'm not sure if Dark Grail is really gas. I guess we'll see how much is actually being played. We'll have to look at that one. If you guys have any thoughts on any of these cards, feel free to chime in here. Brewing Purple. Core Drain seems like a good good removal control. So we have a few combat tricks here. 2000, 2000. Is this 3000 one worth it? Poison Mist. I'm not sure how much curse we were going to be running. Let's look back over these Nexus. Not bad, especially if we never power it up. Just draw a card when one of your spirits is destroyed. Yeah, during an attack, during my attack step. Okay. It seems like that'd be really good with a curse. Because you'd be forcing them to maybe just take the like a wide curse strategy. Because you'd be forcing them to not die from your wide curses, but you're drawing a card. Seeing some of the deck building options here, as you can go pretty wide with some of that. These guys seem really good. So that's got, it does have curse. So we'll see how many cards we actually run with curse. Oh, he's a serpent too. Okay, maybe there's something behind a serpent curse type list. Because this king snake is really good. He loops. Okay, when summoned, select a curse. A spirit with curse and flip it back. Interesting. So as we know, this is, as I was mentioning, this is the first day. So I'm really just, this is a pretty basic stream. I appreciate if you're not a brand new player, or even if you are brand new, this might not be the exact content you're looking for, but as we start playing more matches, there'll be more detailed analysis and thought process going into how I'm planning to win the match, what I'm learning each time, and that's when it'll get more interesting. But I was planning to research these cards myself. I'd be doing this almost exact thing without the stream, so figure why not stream it. Then I can either look back over it, or if you have any thoughts and stuff like that. So here's another 5-drop. We liked him as a 5-drop, so not a fan of Dark Knight anymore. Python seems solid for a card. We could go like a card draw serpent curse deck. And the reason I really like the card draw, obviously, because it's good. But I'm leaning heavily into into core theft being super strong removal, being flash. It's down to 1 cost with the board state, and it's like unconditional removal. I mean, select any spirit, you can destroy it. I mean, let's say the average creature has 3 cores, 4 cores. I mean, that's a lot to discard, but if you're drawing like hell, and it's like game-breaking decision, you know, that's, I guess you'd run the problem of getting caught with too many core theft in the deck. Maybe there's like, maybe that's like a 3 of core theft. I could see that being a solid. Let's review if there was any serpents here we might have missed that are synergizing with our new thought process. Just a cheap curse there. This one, no curse, but he can basically make himself unblockable. Poison shot. So the BP buff, I could see just removing a core being flexible too. We talked about the modal card advantage. Most people are going to leave a creature at the level to get it there. So like this, if it's at level 2 with 4 cores, if you remove a core from it, you're taking 3,000 BP away because it goes down to level 1. Really valuable against the decks that block, because I guess if they attack and have an on-attack trigger at a higher level, you couldn't have time to react during the flash phase, the first flash phase to do it, but you could basically shut down a blocker. I mean, you could do it in the main phase too. So it's more like a offensive move, I'm guessing. A lot of bursts though here. 4 bursts. Gotta think of what low cost stuff we do have. What's there any? Seems like a good early game play, especially, you know, your opponent attacks, gets a 1-drop in, Soul, Stray Soul comes down, kills it. Could then attack itself. I guess, is there any 2-drops here that we're considering? Refresh the spirit, one of your spirits is destroyed. There was a... Which Nexus? You draw a card when you destroy? Rotting Swamp. So that could synergize well with Rotting Swamp a little bit. Interesting. Okay, we have some stuff to think about here. I guess, would we even want to run Infernal? Still seems like a great combo here with these two. Basically, Dark Bishop comes in and takes all cores off all creatures except for 1. And then this guy comes down and removes 1 core from every creature. So it's a full board wipe. Pretty expensive though. He costs 4 plus 1, so that'd be 5 resources. So it's a 10 resource play. Definitely like a late game finisher. So let's see, you start with 4 resources plus 5 life. So let's say you've taken 2 to 3 life. Okay, it's a turn like 5 play. Turn 4, turn 5. It's not absurd. You'd have to get some cost reduction going on too. This guy stands on his own pretty well. Oh, he's a serpent. She's a serpent too, right? Yeah, serpent and undead. Dang, Blood Curse is pretty good with some card draw there. Talk about some recursion possibilities, making your opponent's life just miserable. Is there a way to save the board state? So let's see if there's any other serpents that are worth considering again. Probably don't need any vanillas. Boa Trickster. So Purple Smoke Valley and Dark Bishop is a combo. You drop him in, remove all but one core from everything, and then this says your spirits with curse can't be blocked by a card creature's own core. So you basically remove blocking from all his creatures, or all your opponent's creatures. I could see Dark Grail being a pretty solid card, but you really have, it takes a lot of investment. Wow. I mean, you'd have to have 3 cores on it. It's cheap to get out turn 1 for cost reduction. Going forward, you know, it won't be removed, but not a huge fan. This guy's a Nightling, so he's not a serpent, but he's got curse. Okay, I could see this going wide. So let's think about like grand scheme mechanics of what we want here. Purple themed. Curse seems good. Curse can trade up a lot. You know, anytime your opponent blocks, they die. It's death touch. So for that to be most useful, you need low power creatures with curse. Boa Trickster, pretty good. The fact that it's got a curse and it's at level 1. Most people don't have curse at level 1.
Download your favorite podcasts.
Oh, that's pretty good. The fact that it has curse at level 1. You can leak some damage there. I'm not sure how good leaking the damage is though, because you're ramping them up, you know. So I mean, you really like just getting a damage in early. I'm not sure how great that is. I mean, you do want to soften them up a bit, so you could hit them with like a few creatures with curse and they can't block. Maybe that's like the grander strategy. Get a lot of card draw and be able to set up, you know, multiple at once. How are we fighting off the board state though? Bloody Rain seems good against aggro. Poison Shot. Just Dark Matter. That's not terrible. Interesting stuff. Okay, we got a lot of stuff to think about here as we're brewing through this, but Serpent Curse seems to be a pretty solid strat. Rotting Swamp in conjunction. So I could probably choose the order of triggers, right? So I attack with a spirit, it dies. Trigger the top, draw a card. Once per turn, one of your spirits would be destroyed. You can discard a card and return to your hand. So I wouldn't get the... I think it'd be a replacement effect for the death. I guess let's look at the rules on that. I think destroyed means it actually goes to the graveyard, so maybe it never does in that situation. This guy's only 3 cores to get level 3, but does have some good value there. Cool, there's a lot of stuff to consider there. So hey, this is just the first stream. I wanted to look at these purple cards with you guys. I don't want to drag it on too long as we're really just starting to think about the brewing, but we have a lot of thoughts. So we like the combo Infernal King, Curse Dragon, Dark Bishop. That's a nice board wipe late game. You obviously are going to need to figure out how to combat aggro as well as control, and there's some combo decks out there too. You know, the classic kind of synergy of what card games have to offer. But I think this card draw purple type thing has a lot of potential, and especially with Rotting Swamp being able to let you discard to pull back a Serpent. So if Core Theft, for example, isn't great in the matchup, or if I have a clunky hand and I want to get a Serpent back that's got value, I like that strategy. So is it over there? There you go. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube. It'll be the first one. Next time it'll be more gameplay. I'm gonna try to build this deck, at least a couple variants of it, and then test with my friend or just test with random people on tabletop. So if you're on the Discord and want to test, add me on Steam, PM me on the Discord. It's Puff Trees on the official Tensai Discord. So yeah, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Look forward to some more gameplay. I'll see y'all in Vegas.